everyone, welcome to Sociology with Srestha. I hope each one of you are doing well. So let's continue with what we had left behind in the previous video, that is Health and Society Part 2. This is going to be Health and Society Part 2. In today's video, we are going to be talking about how health is also impacted by the society and how the health also impacts the society or influences the society in some way or the other. Let's talk about how the society influences our health. The first thing which comes in my mind is body image. Body image is the perception one has of one's own body. How one's own body is sexually attractive or how they find it attractive themselves in comparison to the standards set by society. So you understand that how I like my figure, if I'm comfortable with the way my body is, that's what a positive body image is. If I'm comfortable in my skin, that means that I have a positive body image. But if I'm not comfortable the way I am, and I'm always disturbed by the way the society's body image is somewhat different from mine, that is a negative body image. So this has got a lot to do with our own psychology. As I said in my previous video, health has a lot to do with mental health. Being healthy means you are being physically, socially, as well as mentally healthy. Which means that if my body image or the way my body is structured is not according to the standards of the society, then automatically I will feel left out, I will feel alienated, I will feel depressed, and naturally several other consequences will follow. Now, due to this controversy with body image, what has followed are several severe consequences on the person's physical health, which implied into two very famous examples, including anorexia and bulimia, which I'll be talking about in the later section. But let me tell you one thing. When did this exact definition of body image, or when did this trend of having a slim figure come about? Because as far as I know, or as far as I have been educated with certain sociological knowledge about this, or from what I have learned from what I have been taught, I think it has a different history whatsoever. So let's find that out. What was the exact ideal shape of the 16th and 17th century women? It was curvaceous and voluptuous. Why? Because at that point of time, poverty was linked with slimness. Now comes the mid-19th century. However, the middle-class women's mindset changed, and they started thinking that slimness should be the ideal body type for women. So as we saw in the previous slides, that in the 16th and 17th centuries, the idea of a body image, of an ideal body image amongst women was something very much different for what we have right now, compared to what we have right now. Because what we usually think of a perfect body right now in this present society is something related to a slim figure, devoid of any kinds of excess fats, fit into any kind of clothing. So if you have a slim figure, you are very much confident with yourself. And if you don't have such a figure, which is socially desirable, then you feel insecure about yourself. You do not think that you're going to be socially acceptable. People are going to make fun of you. You are not going to be able to be comfortable in your own skin. You won't be able to present yourself properly with a certain amount of dress, wearing a certain amount of dress. So all these complications start arising if you don't have that socially desirable figure, or body image. What happens is that, why is it more of a pressure for women, or why is it more of an obsession for women to acquire that slim figure? It is because of the fact that they have a standard set inside their head, which has obviously been set by the society. How? Because when we see any kind of media, whether it be any kind of social media or our entertainment channels, what we see is that the actors and the actresses always have a particular standard of figure that is very slim, very attractive, very petite, and they always have to maintain themselves doing various types of activities, or doing yoga, doing gymming, so naturally that becomes a trend for us, because whatever we see, we always want to see something which represents the whole society. So the society influences our content that is being made in the channels, in the TV channels, or in the social media programs, or even online television shows. So the society influences that. Now we know very well that men do have less pressure of representing themselves in a way which women are always pressurized for by the society. The models, they constantly kind of torture themselves physically so that they can acquire a particular shape. They even do manipulations on their own body, which happens because of the invention of the technology, the technological advancements in medicine or medical science, for which you can change the way you look or change the way you are representative in front of the society. So you can actually tame your body in such a way that is socially desirable, how the society wants you to be tamed. You are not comfortable in your natural skin, for which several other complications come in. That is why it is called that the social body is something which has entered its influence on the human body too. So the human body is nothing natural anymore. It has turned more of social, something which can be manipulated, something which can be manipulated as a way, not only what we want, but the way how society wants us to be. So these social images started started developing in the mindsets of several individuals, and what resulted was that we want a particular kind of figure. So for getting that figure, the diet charts, the diet planning started emerging. There were several food packaged, like we see right now. These are certain diet tablets, these are certain diet juices, which could reduce the fats which you have, the excess fats, and make you things slowly accumulated to be a very complicated mess inside the heads of the several women. Now, why do women face the pressure more? Because women, as we know, are the submissive sex, as we have always known this, that they are someone who are not as superior as men. So it is, the balance has always been like this. These are the men, these are the women. We are trying to make it like this, but it has somehow always been like this. Even if we are constantly trying to push that barrier, break that ceiling, glass ceiling, which we have, as we all know. And if you want to know more about it, we can talk in the next video about this. So, as of now, we know that women are always trying to be at par with men. But what has happened is that men do have a social standard of attractiveness. But what is in this case of women is that if they do not find themselves attractive, because attractiveness of a woman has always been considered the superior quality which a woman should have. If you are not attractive, you are not desirable, so you are not healthy to fit in the society. You are not considered someone who can fit in the society or who can fit in this race of proving themselves. We have always found this. That's why we are so much conscious about our image. It is not only of our facial image but also our body figure, which we are so much concerned about, which has led to two most important and most severe consequences or eating disorders, which are called anorexia and bulimia. Now let's find out a little more about what actually they are and what could be the consequences of them. The following are the definitions of anorexia and bulimia. And this slide represents what are the consequences of anorexia. Anorexia. Anorexia is a disorder of eating. It 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 is a di seen in the previous slides of what anorexia and bulimia are, they are nothing but just eating disorders. Certain disorders which have actually changed the way we think about our own health, or how much of a pressure maintaining a particular body image can be for the girls, especially the teenage girls. So this thing emerged as a Western model and spread throughout the world in each and every country, because we know how the Western influence worked back in the late 20th century. So now we understand that how certain social standards can impact the way our mental health and our physical health works. Because anorexia and bulimia can both have severe consequences on our health. It is not just an eating disorder. It is something more than that. And we have already seen the consequences. So if you want to know more about this, I can discuss more about it. But I think I'll be keeping it this much only, because we know that society has turned our bodies into something not very natural anymore. It has become a process where society is influencing constantly the way we think about ourselves. That is why we are so conscious about ourselves. I hope you liked this video. If you didn't like it, please do tell me why you didn't. Or if you think there could be something more which I could talk about, please do comment down below and let me know. In the next 2 videos which I'll be taking, and then I'll be completing the topic of health and society, it is going to be about how class, gender, and how ethnicity can actually have a relationship with health and can influence health. So hope you like this, and if you have anything more to say to me, please do comment down below. If you really like this video, then I have one request to you. Please do share it with your friends, your family. It would mean a lot to me. Trust me. I'm not trying to prove anything out here. I'm just trying to share my experience about this particular discourse. So hopefully it's going to be something worth the watch. Thank you.